To all the fans out there, we know how much you care. To everyone who believes this could be their year,
so much. And then the quality of rugby that's been played.
we're always here. Wherever your team or heroes roam, there's one place we can all call home. The Irish Examiner, where sport lives.
Good afternoon and welcome to Virgin Media Park for this Pinergy Munster School Senior Cup Final. The two most successful sides in the history of the competition, on 31 titles each, will be bidding not only for this season's trophy, the Gareth Fitzgerald Trophy, but also to be the most successful side in the competition. Joining me today, no strangers to success in Musgrave Park in Munster and Irish Rugby, Mr. Donal Lennon and Johnny Holland. Donal, the atmosphere is building here and we're in for a cracker of a game.
Yeah, we certainly are. Look, it's always a great occasion. All the school kids are in here for the last hour, and this is a game. It has a sort of a history and a rivalry all of its own. I think you go back to what happened last year, Pres winning 24-0. That normally doesn't happen in a final. They're normally one-score games, so I'm very interested to see how it works out today.
Johnny, Donal just mentioned there the 24-0 in last season's final. Let's reference the semi-final against Munchins, PBC winning 45 points to 12. Some scintillating attack. They're not going to have it as easy as they did in that semi-final, but nonetheless this backline are very dangerous.
The backline is very dangerous, and you're looking at the two lads in the middle of the field, James O'Leary and Jean O'Leary-Kareem. Like, that's what everyone's going to be looking at, but what you're not really looking at is their halfbacks facilitating that, and maybe what happens inside that as well. So don't expect Christians just to give them the line out and give them everything at the break them, because if they're going to stop the two lads in the middle, you're going to have to stop giving them good clean ball. And I think, like the way Pres play the game, they actually use those lads nearly as their forward pack. That's what gives them go forward. So I think if Christians can stop that from the inside and try and disrupt everything, that's what they're going to try and do. But they'll have a lot of motivation from last year. They'll have a lot of motivation from watching them in the semi-final as well, because if they don't go at it, there's a little bit of fear in the back of their heads. If they let them at it early on, Pres will start and come out of the blocks.
Indeed. Donal, we spoke just before, and Christians have made 3 changes in the pack, 1 in the back line. Does that ring to you that they're really going to attack Pres up front?
Yeah, I think it does. I mean, if you look at where the Pres strengths are, they're all behind the scrum. They have a functioning pack, but as Johnny said, all their carriers, all their gain line momentum comes from midfield. You go back to the Munchins game, I thought, to be honest, Pres brilliant in attack, but Munchins defensively, I think they'll go back and look. I mean, they gave Pres so many walk-ins, so I think it's going to start up front. It's a very blistery day. I mean, that doesn't help in terms of your passing game, certainly from left to right. That Christians pack with Keneally coming back into the second row, and Skelly moves into the back row. They're strong, they're physical. You don't need to be a rocket science to work out where Christians are going to attack them.
It's all set to be some occasion here in Virgin Media Park for this Pinergy Munster School Senior Cup Final. Kick-off is fast approaching, but earlier on I caught up with head coaches Tommy Crowe of CBC and Ger Burke with PBC. Tommy Crowe, Munster School Senior Cup Final Day. These are very, very special days and ones you've become used to. Talk me through the team selection. 4 changes from the semi-final, 1 at full back, 3 in the pack.
Yeah, I suppose, look, number 1, great to be back in the final again. We never take these for granted. It's going to be a tough day at the office against a very good side, very good Pres side. In relation to the team there, Conor Keneally is back there after a fairly significant injury. So after the very first game, he came back in, and as a result, Mark Skelly's gone into the back row, and we've just gone for a little bit of pace on the open side. So very tough on the two fellas that lose out in the wing forward positions, but they'll no doubt come on and play a significant part in the game.
And in terms of the opposition today, obviously very good wins against Camp and against Munchins in the semi-final qualifiers and semi-finals. How much of a step up is this game today, and especially with Pres team that put 45 points on Munchins in that semi-final?
Look, I think every game in the Senior Cup is its own game. You just have to treat it as today is today. What happened in semi-finals or in quarter-finals has no bearing. I just think you got to play conditions, you got to be smart, and you got to make sure that you play today rather than being here for the occasion. That's not why we're here. We're here for one reason.
Good luck today, Tommy. Ger Burke, Munster School Senior Cup Final Day. You speak about it being a special occasion. What makes a day like today special?
Where do you begin? It's got to be close to a full house. There's going to be pretty much 90% of people here are from Praise or Christians. It's going to be black and white and patches and red and yellow and others. Just the kids have dreamed of, their parents have dreamt of, their brothers and sisters. It's finally upon us, it's superb.
One change to the team that won in the semi-final, George O'Keefe into the second row, and you have Danny Noonan who makes the bench after a long time out. Enforced change in the second row or tactical?
Enforced, no, all credit to George. George started the first game and has been magnificent in how he's conducted himself and trained over the last couple of weeks, and is very worthy of a starting position. Unfortunately for Dennis Murphy, who's been talismanic for us all year, kind of taking a leadership role we didn't expect, running our line out, took a nasty injury in training there during the week, but that's the risk you run trying to get ready for a day like today. Luckily, and in fairness to Danny Noonan, he's back in. Don't ask me how, but he is, after coming through just a horrendous 6 months. But he's raring to go, and I hope that we can get him some minutes on the pitch.
And in terms of this Christian side, you met them in the final last year, but that really counts for nothing. You said that in your notes during the week. What kind of threats are you wary of them posing, given that you put 45 points in a Munchins team in the semi-final, and a lot of talk has been about your backline today?
Yeah, look, the semi-finals are about one thing only, it's getting to here. And whether you score 45 points or you score 3, as long as you're in the final, that's the purpose of a semi-final, so it doesn't have any bearing, to be perfectly honest with you. They're big, they're strong, they're powerful. If you give them front foot ball, they will get on top of you. Charlie has a wide range of skills at 10. He'll put the ball behind you after line breaks, or he's a lovely range of kick passing. Basically, if you allow them to get the high tempo, they're dangerous, and then their set piece is very impressive.
Top teams in the world come together in the Six Nations.
The energy transition is happening. Now is the time to change. Time to move from polluting to preserving, consuming to creating. Time to act on your energy. To understand it, save it, even sell it. Because today's decisions will transform tomorrow. Pinergy, powering energy transition.
To all the fans out there, we know how much you care. To everyone who believes this could be their year,
So much. And then the quality of rugby that's been played.
we're always here. Wherever your team or heroes roam, there's one place we can all call home. The Irish Examiner, where sport lives.
You're very welcome back to Virgin Media Park for this Pinergy Munster Schools Senior Cup final. Darragh Frawley alongside Donal Lennon and Johnny Holland. Gentlemen, we spoke on the pitch just a few moments ago, but Donal, the atmosphere here is something special to behold.
Yeah, it is. Look, as we mentioned, all the kids are in from school early. Parents are here. I've met a load of fellas that I played rugby with years and years ago who might never go to a match. But this is a game that brings even the casual observer out. So, huge interest. Pres Christians always has been, always will be.
Johnny, in terms of the occasion, you know, we've spoken about a lot of representative players and whatnot. Getting the right balance between the occasion and your game plan is going to be massively important to whoever's going to go on to lift this trophy today.
Yeah, I think so. And you've said there about representation. There's guys who represent Munster underage level on the bench here today, so the quality is going to be really high, but it's just about how they start the game, because obviously we know what Pres are about. They can move the game very quickly, they can score tries very quickly, and I think if that happens to Christians, it could be they can't start nervously, because that's what's going to happen. And I think they will start with a bit of nerves, but I think they'll start to settle and really get on top then after that. That's how I would see it going, but they need to do that as early as possible, because Pres can run away with it.
Indeed. In terms of the teams today, CBC and Presentation both locked on 31 titles each. The CBC team lines out as follows: 4 changes from that semi-final win, 18 points to 8 over Crescent College Comprehensive 2 weeks ago. They line out as follows: Darragh Callan comes in at 15 in place of Ronan O'Keefe, Alex O'Connell and Bill McCarthy, his partners in the backfield. Leo O'Leary and Gavin O'Riordan, who impressed in both the quarterfinals and semi-finals, maintain their centre partnership. Charlie O'Shea and Christopher Barrett, remember the names, the halfbacks pulling the strings, and Barrett a try scorer against Comp in that
semi-final. Ian Morton is in at open side, Daniel Rock captains from number 8, and Mark Skelly moves from the second row to back row at number 6. Conor Kennelly, played in last year's final at 6, is in the second row with the formidable Michael Foy. Cian Walsh, try scorer Dara Prenter at hooker, and Dennis Callahan complete the Christians front row. The subs are Craig Hughes, Ronan O'Callaghan, Sean McDonald, Robert O'Sullivan, Conor Galvin, Joseph Barrett, Cian Boylan, Cian Corkery, Aidan Brady and Ronan O'Keefe. Donal Lenihan, we spoke about this Christians team. They haven't really hit anything. The power game is going to be really prominent today, we feel.
Yeah, it is. I think it may be a contrast in styles, in that we all know just how good Prez are. That midfield combination, the two O'Learys, O'Leary Kareem, they were there last year, as was their half-back combination of Murphy and Toohey. That's a huge plus going into a final. I mean, regardless of how many games, a final is different. Likewise, on the Christian side, they have a lot of guys who were on the receiving end of that 24-0 last year, so they won't lack motivation. We mentioned the fact that Keneally, he's a big lad, 6'6", I think about 106 kgs. So I think Christians will have to be direct. But that said, I was very impressed by their back three as well. Even though they had limited opportunity, Dara O'Callaghan came on in that semi-final, was outstanding and has earned his start today. But likewise, O'Connell and McCarthy on the wings were really impressive. It's a question of how adventurous are Christians going to be. But I'm also, and Johnny, you would have more to say on this, just in terms of defence. So I would imagine Christians, they watched Munchin standing off Prez the last day. I mean, I won't say they're going to bring in a blitz defence overnight. We all know that's nigh impossible, but you would imagine line speed is going to be huge.
Yeah, it is, and I think Christians have been very good defensively as well. So I think with Duncan in there getting his spoke on their line speed, I think they are going to do a little bit of that and get into Prez's faces. But I think Prez, similarly, once they were attacked in the semi-final, they went very lateral and they didn't get off the line either. So Christians have actually improved their attack a lot this year compared to last year. Last year they only had a power game up front. They started moving the ball a bit. Even the disallowed try here the last time shows that they can attack.
Speaking of presentation, Brothers Cork, PBC line out as follows: Decky Fitzgerald, Neville O'Leary and John Wigington Barrett, the electrifying back three who ripped Munchins to pieces in that semi-final. Gene O'Leary, Kareem and cousin James O'Leary in the centre, who have been absolutely scintillating in this year's competition. Harry Murphy and Liam Toohey, the halfbacks. Alexander Alderson, a survivor from last year's pack, at number 8. Cormac Bohan at 7 and Oscar Squires complete the back row at 6. George O'Keefe, the sole change from the semi-final win over St Munchins, and Daniel Foley in the engine room, and Billy Cronin, Pádraig Doyle and Maurice Minogue make up the front row. The subs: Rio McLaughlin Barry, Fiona Sullivan, Diarmuid Sheehy, Charlie Donnelly, Daniel Noonan. His first appearance, if he does come off the bench since September, is recovered from a foot injury to take his place in this final. Frankie O'Sheehan, Mark Etherington, Luke Siscomani, Evan O'Dowd and Olin Dillon. Johnny, there's a lot of talent in this backline. We've spoken about a number of players, but this pack are also very impressive in how they can adapt at their skill level.
Yeah, they are. Their skills are unreal. We've seen that last year. I know there's some changes, but they're coached the exact same way, and we actually saw that as well in the semi-final. So they'll have a lot to say up front as well. I know we're trying to say that the Christians pack need to go after them, but they'll have a lot to say about how they move this game around. But then you look at their back line, I'd like to see Bill McCarthy going up against Neville O'Leary. I think that's going to be a bit of a ding-dong one. And then we also have Liam Toohey out to Gene O'Leary Kareem. There's a lot of facilitation, like I said the last day, from the inside, and then all the dangers in the middle. But Neville O'Leary was off their shoulders well last time to finish off 2 tries. So there's so much in there that we can unpack.
Yes, there is. There are an incredible atmosphere is the easiest way to describe it. We'll get anybody in trouble. Some smoke coming across your screen. Andy Brace is the man in the middle, fresh from Six Nations duty at the weekend. A bumper crowd. We won't ask the dreaded prediction scores from the pundits. We'll get straight into it. The Pinergy Munster School Senior Cup final in association with the Irish Examiner. Packed house here. The ball in the hands of Harry Murphy, who gets the 2024 final underway. It's batted back by Captain O'Leary. Prez with early pressure. Pádraig Doyle. Christians flying up in defence there. An early tactic, the wind swirling again. Murphy finds James O'Leary. Referee Brace says the ball has gone back there.
Stay on.
Murphy again through to Squires. Blindside was brilliant in the semi-final. Prez 2 metres in from that right-hand side touchline. The wind, as we said, favouring Christians slightly on this side of the field. And the referee says Christians not fair at the breakdown. Carry by Cronin and Donald. A little bit of early nerves from Prez.
Yeah, evident on both sides. I mean, you saw the kick-off there, plus, I mean, it was Nick O'Leary in the centre, James O'Leary, sorry. I mean, early hands, we spoke about him having played in the final last year. He was the first to show those nerves, but look, I'm not in the least surprised. This is a massive day for these kids. It's, for a lot of them, the biggest stage they made play on.
And step, CBC.
Standing room only in certain areas in Virgin Media Park.
Stay 2, mate, yeah.
PBC set up 5+1 the line out, ball in the hands of Pádraig Doyle. George O'Keefe in the middle of the line out, little dummy. And the ball is thrown, well taken by Cormac Bohan at the tail of the line out, and they look to move it through the Tui. It's a lovely little inside line by Neville O'Leary, who's prolific in the semi-final. O'Leary's on the move again, he's got Alderson on his shoulder, elects not to use him here. Prez looking to get around the corner. James O'Leary with ball in hand to Cronin. It's a good carry, but Christians have managed to get the ball on the ground. They'll be delighted to disrupt that Prez attack early as Darragh O'Callaghan looks to go, and Gene O'Leary-Kareem could have the first try in the final, and O'Leary-Kareem, the captain, shows up from a block down. Johnny Holland, what a start here.
Yeah, and I think it came from a bit of misfortune for Christians out the pitch. There was a knock on, I thought, and there was a penalty in the breakdown, but you know, Prez have obviously done their homework. There's a bit of inside space there off the set piece, and Neville O'Leary through the middle. Unfortunate for Darragh O'Callaghan on his start after not starting the semi-final, but obviously Prez have turned the screw here very early on.
Yeah, and they've got their big men on the ball, which is really important. Neville O'Leary making that break. He's big, he's pacey, he's strong. Good, and you know, that creates an element of doubt in that Christians defence already. But we've seen Gene O'Leary-Kareem, outstanding player, 18 points in the semi-final against Munchins, including 2 tries, and already we've barely warmed up in the game, and he's 5 points on the board, and more than likely 2 more.
O'Leary-Kareem, prolific in the semi-final. A dream start to the final for him and PBC as that sails through the middle of the sticks, and PBC leads 7 points to 0 in this Pinergy Munster School Senior Cup final.
Just a word on that kick as well. This wind is not easy ever in this stadium. So, like, you look at, I said it the last day, flags are in all different directions, and he just stroked that through. The strike sounded really good too.
Was really sharp in the warm-up.
Go right, mate.
Was O'Leary-Kareem.
Right.
So Shea restarts high into the Cork sky, the ball hanging up in the air. Prez won't get a lift, but the ball is regained.
Stay on.
Prez.
Push.
Tui to O'Leary. Carried there by.
Okay, away.
Prez again, but Christians putting them under fierce pressure inside their 22. Ball does squirt out.
Away, PBC.
Looks like Christians have turned that ball over here. Barrett finds Foy out the back to O'Shea and Rock. Lovely little interplay from Christians early, their first entry into the PBC 22. What referee Brace says. Christians have come in the side of the ruck.
Good in.
But decent play there, Donald, from Christians and moving the ball around.
Yeah, just over enthusiasm, really. Very impressed there by Morton. He came off the bench in the semi-final. He's earned his place to start today. He was the one who put in that massive hit, which is exactly what Christians needed. Got the ball, good movement, but they just got to be, sometimes you're so pumped up and, you know, you have a breakdown like that, it's easy for your body to go beyond, fall on the ground. They just have to be careful. But I think... you know, they will know there's opportunities there for them. This presentation defence hasn't really been tested, so
we don't need that.
No surprise to see Christians having that go early.
5.
We said it was going to be a cracker early doors, and we've certainly gotten that. Murphy's right boot has found a great touch.
Yeah. PBC too
on
big.
That right hand touch line.
Too big.
PBC's first line out went towards the tail.
Yeah.
Cormac Bohan, no doubt. Michael Foy, Skelly, and Co have done their homework on this PBC line-out. It's going to be a fascinating battle all afternoon.
Just look at the flag there in the assistant referee's hands. There's a massive wind blowing there. Makes it very difficult for the throwers. I think line-out wise, Prez had a huge reliance on Cormac Bohan in the last few games. So no doubt Christians will look to double bank him, put pressure on him in the air.
O'Keefe has Foley in front of him. O'Keefe dummies again to go towards the tail, and Bohan in a carbon copy of the line-out. And O'Leary, Murphy, with that pass, quite the distance in it, but lands at the feet, and Christians will have a scrum underneath the Middle spot of the posts.
Yeah, somewhere.
25 metres or so out, and Johnny Holland an opportunity for their first attack on set piece.
Yeah, you can see, I think the wind is going with Prez in that part of the pitch, and the ball just tailed away as it was going to Murphy's hands. So fellas, it's a difficult one to play with the wind sometimes when you're trying to play a passing game. But we've seen Christians going after a breakdown as well. I'd expect to see a lot more of that to try and get their ball back, but there's an opportunity here for them.
Yeah, that Christian scrum, I was really impressed the last two outings. Callaghan and Walsh in that front row. Problem is you can only push a metre at schools rugby there. There's the pressure there again.
Barrett goes out the back, and O'Shea is absolutely hammered by O'Leary Kareem. He'll be slow to get up from that. But referee Brace says there's a penalty there.
You can't dive over.
Yeah, he's in trouble too. Big hit, got it on the hip, and that can be sore. And given his importance as a place kicker, you just see the scrum here. I question this metre thing at schools rugby, I must say, but what a hit coming in there.
Thumb off.
Leo O'Leary with the unders line. Gene O'Leary Kareem had his eyes firmly on O'Shea, and I think O'Shea will feel that one tomorrow.
Initial counter was good on the tackle in the second play.
But you're right, Donald, the goal kicker, he's been the maestro in this Christians team, and everything good that has happened in the semi-final and indeed in last year's final has really come through him.
Yeah, and he's not the biggest of lads, but he's incredibly brave. I'm not surprised to see him back in his feet there. But I've no doubt Prez will be thrilled to have landed such a big defensive hit like that early on. Just even for your forwards to get up and you see that attack going backwards. Interestingly, against the wind, Johnny, I presume, is the issue here, going for the corner, not for the sticks.
Yeah, it's difficult, I think, to kick into those posts, but just on the backline play from the scrum as well, it's the hardest place to defend.
No touch found by O'Shea there. And Decky Fitzgerald has sliced that one. There's open season here for O'Shea. If he wants to go, a lot of players in front of him, so he's going to have to do it all himself, and elects to dink in behind. Which way is the ball going to bounce? Just outside. But the wind, Johnny, wreaking havoc.
Yeah, it's difficult, and especially when lads are getting used to it at this level. You see those missed at international level, and we will give out about it, but it's difficult here, so we won't scrutinise that one too much. But I think just going back to the scrum as well, the ball was just held onto for too long, and when you give someone, a defender like Gene O'Leary Kareem, too long to read that, then that's why Charlie O'Shea got into a bit of trouble. So maybe letting the ball go, because the problem is going to be once the first pass goes, it's very hard to double job on a midfield scrum.
Yeah, and I think though as well, Johnny, when you have that power in the front row, if you can't go forward, you can manipulate the angles. So if they can come up on the right hand side, it just gives them a huge advantage.
Foley loaded in Bohan. Again, that's 3 from 3. Prez's line out has been pristine in the opening exchanges here in Virgin Media Park. Christians putting them under pressure, but testament to the Prez line out. So they take a little carry to get a better angle. James O'Leary was brilliant in that semi-final. Billy Cronin carries again.
Now use it.
Shaping to box kick here. Going to be a difficult kick to find touch, and it's blocked down there, and Christians have an opportunity here. The ball is back on the Christian side, and Barrett hits his open side, Ian Morton. Christians were prolific against Comp in this semi-final.
Move.
Good carry again by Foy.
Onside, arrive up.
Cian Walsh, the tight head.
Full release. Step.
Christians getting a lot of yards here. Close. Dara Prenter, the try scorer in the semi-final, scored from a lot further out. Is repelled on this occasion. Barrett finds O'Shea. O'Shea with the wide pass. Finds his winger, Alex O'Connell. Looks like the ball was perhaps fumbled there. And it was. Referee Brace, though, a number of infringements from Prez.
Don't shout for offsides. Okay.
Yeah, huge pressure there from Christians again, like the Prez try. It came from a clearance kick that was blocked down. Just the pressure being put on the kickers is huge. To be fair to Christians, they spotted the space out wide, but again with the wind the way it's blowing, tried to pass into it was almost impossible, but they have a chance here. They're going for the short penalty, a favourite of Leinster. We see loads of variations off these in recent times. Interesting to see what Christians are going to do.
Walsh, Prenter and O'Callaghan all ready to roll. Walsh carries in. Prez have answered the first question. Good carry again by Christians there. Foy and Skelly on the carry. O'Callaghan again, they're looking to go back towards the posts. Christians being very disciplined on the pre-latch. Both Prenter and O'Callaghan, very sizable men in that 22. Prez staying on the line here, but Christians look to have gotten over the line. And it's a try by Christians. The open side, Ian Morton, on a start in the final. And Donal Lennon, it's no more than Christians deserve.
Well, they got a reward for that early pressure. They stuck to task just from that short penalty. The initial move was fairly straightforward. They were obviously looking to come back on the blind side. Prez defended it really well, but you have to be so careful when you're stuck on the line like that, and in the end that power that Christians have proved telling. Morton, as I mentioned, I was really impressed when he came off the bench the last day. What a start for him.
Johnny, a quick word. Christians very, very brave and ultimately getting their reward, going to the corner, not quite getting it, but not taking the 3 points in the final, which some teams just generally do by default.
Hilariously, their coaches were pointing at the sticks, and I've been there on the sideline, but the players have a different feeling in the game, and I actually back the players there because we've seen Prez put up scores. You're going to have to score tries to beat this Prez team, so it's great that they've backed themselves. We spoke before the game that I think Christians will start nervously and then maybe get a handle on the game. Now it's all square again, 11 minutes in, and they can start fresh after the initial mistake, but it's well set up here now for a bit of a battle in the air.
Murphy finds Foy, who climbs highest, dealing with that kick-off. Barrett to Kennelly, and Kennelly stretches those long limbs and moves.
Okay, onside.
Barrett, right-footed, has been electric with the ball in hand.
Now 9, stay on 2.
Tries to get his chase line. He's got Printer, Foy, and Alex O'Connell, and he's blocked down again, and it's Alderson. The captain's been brilliant in his soccer skills as Alderson tries to go again. Just a little bit of a contact on the hip there, caught him. But Donal Lennon twice. We saw the try when O'Callaghan was blocked down, and with Barrett again there, it's something the Prez have really targeted.
Yeah, they have, but it was all too slow, I think, from Christians. I wouldn't mind. They had 2 or 3 extended legs there. Shouldn't be blocked down. I mean, you just see that caterpillar, which I must say I find quite annoying. So to get blocked down having a setup like that is amazing. To be fair to Alderson, I'd like to see where he came from because he had a lot of ground to make up.
But it was actually interesting, Liam, too. He was at the back of the ruck asking the ref is it out, because I don't think the Christian shoulder was attached and bound on, so I think he thought the ball was out a lot quicker. They're obviously going to go after the halfbacks, both teams are, but they're very clued into the laws here.
CBC take 22, and O'Shea finds O'Leary. Kareem beats the first tackler and the second tackler. Wonderful footwork. O'Leary, Kareem, the try scorer, the captain. The opening 115 seconds on the clock. O'Leary does well to take that ball, but Foy goes high on him, and that will be, with the tackle height, a penalty and a fair call by Andy Brace there.
Kareem is electric, isn't he? Really, every time he gets the ball, just magical feed. He always seems to break that first defender and creates panic in that Christians defence.
Real sense of tension around the atmosphere here. 24-0 last season in the final. There's certainly not going to be that this year. 7 points apiece after 12 minutes as Murphy lands PBC just short of the CBC 22. Cormac Bohan has been the main target for the PBC line-out. Foy, Skelly and Kennelly
not too big.
Will be trying to decode that line-out as Prez go on a 5+1 again. O'Keefe. They go towards the tail again, and if it's not broken, don't fix it. Prez look to move the ball out. O'Leary, James O'Leary breaks the first tackle. O'Leary, incredible pace. O'Leary's going to score again. An unbelievable carry by James O'Leary. A little bit of suspect defence from CBC by their own standards, but Johnny Holland, you highlighted him before the game, and it's taken 12 or so minutes for both O'Leary and O'Leary Kareem to score.
Yeah, like, was that his first carry? I know he dropped the ball. I thought it was a knock-on on his first one, but to come back like that, that's 2 set pieces that have caused Christians a lot of trouble. That one straight off the set piece, but I think it was Charlie O'Shea. It's a bit of a mismatch when James O'Leary with those quads goes at Charlie O'Shea in 5th year. A little bit more development to go until he gets to that size, I think, but really confrontational on the tackle line, and he's after ghosting through. Christians will that's a bit cheap for them, isn't it?
Donald Christian.
Yeah, it is. And, I mean, there is a bit of a weight advantage there, but off set piece, Christians, that's something maybe they should have been considering before the game. Whether you put a 7 like Minter or a Morton out there to try and make that first hit. I think it's something they're going to do it because Prez, they have the capacity to break that first line of defence, and once they get in behind you, you're in serious trouble.
14 points to 7. Tough to keep up with here pace-wise. 3 very happy gentlemen to be in the commentary position rather than on the pitch this afternoon.
I think if you're Christians, like, you want them to go through phases. You don't want to give it to them that cheap. Like, I think they'll back themselves once they go through phases, so it's disappointing enough.
O'Shea finds the try scorer, O'Leary again. Christians get to grips with him on this occasion.
Okay. Use it 9. Take him back.
Tui.
Stop, PBC.
Back to Murphy. That right boot of Murphy finds O'Callaghan at 15 for CBC, and he does like to venture forward. Christians attacking the blind side. O'Shea to Barrett.
Onside.
Captain Danny Rock has the ball in hand. Christians again carrying in the tight. O'Shea. Morton, the try scorer. Good little line there. Barrett again to O'Shea. O'Shea goes out the back of Prenter. Good carry by Leo O'Leary. Ruck well resourced. Rock, the captain, tells Barrett to go left, and he does just that.
Move.
Prez going very hard at that breakdown. Referee Bray says everything was legal on both sides. O'Leary, the 13, got dancing feet. Goes out. Alex O'Connell steps in off the touchline. O'Connell's done well.
Onside.
CBC going through multi-phase here, but so far Prez have answered the questions. Foy, huge second row Foy. Got through an incredible amount of work. Barrett runs down a bit of a dark alley, and he's eaten up by Prez.
So, yeah.
Good discipline by both sides. Barrett to Gavin O'Riordan. Played in last year's final.
Onside, that's fine.
CBC trying to attack an inside shoulder there for Prez, but so far just a little bit lateral in that attack. Well fielded by Foy there. And there's an opportunity here for O'Shea if he sees 3-on-3 on this side. Full back. Darragh O'Callaghan seems to have lost the scrum cap there, and Danny Rock, the captain, takes the ball. He's a little bit isolated as Prez try and go after that ruck, and they do just that. It's a wonderful turnover there by the full back Decky Fitzgerald.
Yeah, Fitzgerald did really well there. It's been an issue for me the way Christians are resourcing their ruck. Too many times the carrier just gets separated from his support. I mean, you just see it here again. And great awareness there from Fitzgerald at full back, gets his hands in. Rock just isolated. That I think as well, Johnny. The Christians, they're just slow. They're almost waiting for the scrum half to be the one to get to the base of the ruck and play the ball. I mean, too much time being wasted there. The ball is presented, move it away. You don't have to wait for the scrum half to come.
I think they just got away from their structures a bit as well.
Yeah.
They did two-man carries.
PBC, not too big.
They just needed to get back to an edge, and I think get back to their own attacking structure to be more effective.
You in or you out? Say again? Okay, well, you can't have two receivers.
Doyle has been picture perfect with his darts thus far. Wind has changed on this side. Commentator's curse. There's the ball, goes over the top, but Prez seem to have regathered it again.
Stay.
Murphy plays at 9, finds O'Leary. O'Leary finds a soft shoulder, but finds the hard shoulders of Foy, who drives him backwards.
Ball is lifted.
Tui again. Murphy. CBC operating a blitz line there, going really hard after man and ball.
Stop.
And Fitzgerald is blocked down. Which way is this ball going to bounce? O'Leary Kareem does well to cover the ground. He's trapped down by the CBC defences. They swarm in over the ruck, but PBC look to have just about secured that ball. And referee Brace says Christians a little over exuberant at the breakdown. A little bit of back chat here as well. We'll hear from referee Andy Brace as he gives Danny Rock. But Donal, a number of blockdowns. There's nervousness and there's just a little bit of panic starting to creep in.
Yeah, there is. That's the third one we've seen. One of them led to a try, and the other two could possibly have led to tries. But again, I mentioned the Christians' discipline at the breakdown. They just got to be far more careful. Andrew Brace, I think. You just hear him speaking to some of the Christians forwards there. You got to hold your feet.
Murphy finds a superb touch from the middle of the field to land Prez just outside, but Johnny, all referees, particularly Andy Brace with the level he's at, is not going to tolerate any back chat.
No, he's not. I think he said it to Christopher Barrett, I think, not to be calling for offside, and I think it was Cian Walsh just in his ear standing at the ruck. But I think we saw the template from Christians there, go pile into the breakdown, get at the halfbacks, and they got something from it, so there's something to latch onto there.
Bowen at the tail. They go towards O'Keefe.
Wait.
But it's a nice little dummy throw towards the back, and Foley takes it very well.
Committed.
Murphy to Tui, to O'Leary, and O'Leary Kareem is met very, very hard there by that CBC defence, who stayed connected on the inside. James O'Leary tries to carry, but he's swarmed again by CBC. Taking about 20 or so metres off that Prez attack. A lot of space in the backfield. Cian Bohan, the coach of Prez, calling for it, but that pass landing at the feet again, and Johnny Holland has called it, Donald. Christian's putting a lot of pressure on those press halfbacks, and it's yielding rewards.
Yeah, they are, but it's noticeable in terms of that line speed defensively. They're far more aligned, they're far more connected, I think, even than we saw them in the previous couple of weeks. So obviously Christians have done a lot of work, understandably so, because if they're not, they're going to be cut open. They've already been cut open twice, but you can see they are putting Prez under pressure. They have a big opportunity here now off that scrum. They are getting that sort of momentum, that 1 metre forward from the outset. They just got to move the ball quicker.
Rock breaks from the base. Rock goes about 3 metres short. Barrett looking for his forwards around the corner. But it's a lovely little move, and Christians are going to score on the outside. And it's a wonderful try by Bill McCarthy of CBC and Johnny Holland. That's some wonderful interplay between backs and forwards.
Unbelievable, and we said that this Christians attack has come on so much from last year. We can see them sweeping the ball out the back and forwards when they get their structure right. But that was a set play. Danny Rock so quick off the base of the scrum, and he's after taking 3 defenders out of that quick breakdown. It's very hard to stop that in your own try line. Leo O'Leary, lovely pass, and then it's overloading. I think that's when Bill McCarthy's coming around there off Charlie O'Shea, it's an overload that we see in a professional game. Italy are really good at it. Ireland have been trying to do it. That's really, really good attack.
Yeah, but also, Johnny, I'm not sure whether they're tuned into us up here or not, but Cian Walsh on the tight head side, they did get that angle up there. That enabled Rock to get around the corner.
Got outside Alderson.
Exactly. So all of a sudden you've sucked in one of their backs, and Christians can play from there.
Shades of Clive Woodward about Donald Lennon here. Listen to me in my column.
McCarthy with the try has given O'Shea the opportunity to level up the game for the third time. He just does that. Charlie O'Shea with a wonderful score. We're tied again. Just over 20 minutes gone in this game, and nobody is taking their eyes off it. 14 points apiece. PBC looking to go back-to-back for the first time in 30 years in the Munster School Senior Cup. CBC looking to avenge last year's 24-0 defeat, and no quarter given in the opening quarter of this game.
The great part about this is that Christians do keep coming back at them, because they didn't last year. Now it's a game.
Murphy, and just outside, Neville O'Leary makes a big hit, and Prez attack that breakdown.
Use it! Yeah, in.
Barrett again to Foy.
Yeah,
always
in.
Gets yards, does Foy. Charlie O'Shea looking for blockers as Barrett finds O'Shea. Dummy's right-footed, goes back to right foot again, skims off the outside and won't find touch there. Prez love to attack from this position. The ball's in the hands of Harry Murphy at 10, finds O'Leary Kareem. He needs no invitation to go forward. CBC get to grips with O'Leary Kareem. Alex Alderson, who's played all across the back row at 8 today, the vice captain. Does well. O'Leary Kareem was going to go in and play 9, but Tui tells him to go out. First we've seen of that dummy line as O'Leary Kareem and Foy gets to grips with him, but O'Leary Kareem manages to get in. James O'Leary beats the first tackler, but is hammered by the CBC defence, and they really go after that breakdown. Referee Bray says it's okay, as PBC gripping contest to Murphy. Murphy looks up, tries to find grass on the right, and does just that, and it's a superb kick, and Johnny Holland does a 10. And looking at that PBC back there, very, very happy that that ball is where it is now.
Like, if you're a forward and your 10 does that for you, that is invaluable. Now they can run forward instead of being caught behind the gain line. Ball's gone quick here.
CBC do go quickly there. Darragh O'Callaghan, right foot, that ball looks like it was passed back in. And as all good nines do, Liam Toohey certainly asking the question. Liam Brace consults with his touch judge, and PBC will have the line out just inside the 22 there.
I'm really impressed by Liam Toohey. He's all over everything. Like, he's not yapping at the referee, but he is all over his laws, and he's just saying it out loud maybe, but he's getting some purchase from his law knowledge.
Yeah, I think he's one of those half-backs. He's playing his third year, I think, so he has that experience, and Christians, from having a throw now, have turned it over. So Prez, you mentioned Padraig Doyle, the hooker. His throwing has been exemplary in really difficult conditions.
Doyle goes and finds Bohan, but it slips through, and Prenter, who loves a gallop, carries well.
Wait.
Runs over the top of Murphy, and Barrett finds O'Shea, and O'Shea finds a little gap. Does O'Shea. Morton on the inside, keeping that Prez defence honest. O'Leary looks a little bit forward there, but referee says play on there. A good carry by Walsh. The tight head, Barrett again, finds Foy. Foy to O'Shea. O'Shea finds Rock in his space here for CBC. Rock has Prenter outside, but Rock is still going here. The captain is beaten 3. He's got 2 players outside him in CBC. But the Prez defence is absolutely brilliant. But Daniel Rock has been worth his weight in gold for CBC so far, Donald, and you cannot take your eyes off this.
Well, he's playing a captain's role, isn't he? I remember, I think he played 7 last year. He was outstanding. He's taken the responsibility this year, but it's been brilliant play from both sides. To be fair, I think we all know that Prez look to move the ball. They have brilliant scoring potential out wide, but Christians, as you mentioned, Johnny, you can see the difference in their structure, their shape. From every kick, I think they kind of transition really well. They get fellas are racing back to get into the attacking line, and they're making big profit out of it.
Johnny, Prez, to Donald's point, haven't really been able to get into their free-flowing structure, but that's a credit to Christians going after the breakdown. It's been more so Christians with the structure and play and more or less dictating the attack.
Like, not to harp on, but like you look back at how South Africa did it to Ireland, when they're piling into breakdowns like that, and Prez have to put a different body into the breakdown or more bodies in there, they're losing their own attacking structures because they're coming from the pod of 3 to have to go in there. Now they have a pod of 2, or they might not have a pod at all. So you see when Christians go into those breakdowns, Prez are losing their own structure. So it's actually Christians going at them that's doing it.
Okay, time on.
Referee Brace says time back on.
Yeah, I also think, Johnny, there's an element. Prez haven't been tested like that, certainly with that defence just being swarmed. And it'll be interesting to see how they react. I mean, they've got those 2 tries already, but the space has been gobbled up.
Doyle throws it to his opposite number, Prenter. Prenter does love a gallop. As we said, try score in the semi-final. PBC set piece under pressure as Foy gallops forward.
Tackle!
Gains a couple of yards and Prez 5 metres short. Rock has the ball inside, the variation in CBC. But Billy Cronin with an unbelievable tackle there drives Rock back, but O'Shea finds a little bit of space and a 2-on-1 on the outside. It's going to be close here and it's going to be a try for Christians. But referee Brace says no, there was a knock on. He's well placed. We will see the replay again. And Donald Lennon, CBC in the ascendancy here in this final.
Yeah, they certainly are. It all coming from a lost line-out. But O'Shea has been brilliant in recognising the blind side. Every time there's a turnover, we can't really... I think he's definitely lost the ball, to be fair. Andrew Brace in the perfect position. He had no hesitation whatsoever. And you really think if Christians are going to go on and win this against the odds, every opportunity like that has to be taken. But more interestingly, the line-out, Prez do seem to have an over-reliance on Cormac Bowen, and you just mark up with him, put pressure in the air where he is. I think they've been good throws from Prez, but it's the pressure of the contest from Christians that has enabled the ball to break, and they can play from there.
Indeed, millimetres in the set piece. Liam Toohey and Neville O'Leary with that unbelievable defensive effort. How important that might be at full time, but a welcome rest, Johnny, I think, for not only the forwards, the backs, after a pretty frantic 26 minutes or so. Yeah,
but I think if you're Christians, you want to get him up. I know he's injured, but you want to get him up and continue that momentum. But it's another part of Dennis Murphy being missing for Prez in the second row there as well. I'm not sure if he was calling the line-out or not, but you're missing a line-out option that's been in there and missing that cohesion, maybe a small bit of a second person to go to, especially when it's that windy. It's going to be difficult in the line-out if Prez don't get a handle on it now.
Indeed, it will be Toohey has the ball in hand. The ever-reliable James O'Leary standing at first receiver. Out half Murphy behind him and cousin O'Leary Kareem on the right-hand side. They face up against O'Shea. Leo O'Leary and Gavin O'Riordan and Christians do decide to have a go at that scrum. It will be difficult. Alderson is told by Toohey to leave it. James O'Leary carries, and O'Leary from behind is swarmed by a number of Christians defenders, but has gained valuable yards. Toohey, told by Brace to use it right-footed, gets a big high-hanging kick, and that's not going to find touch. It finds the try-scorer McCarthy, who's got Darragh O'Callaghan on his inside. Darragh O'Callaghan tries to snap back down the blind and finds acres of space there, and O'Callaghan's going right into the 22 here in Christians, as we said, in the ascendancy. But referee Brace signals again. O'Callaghan was not releasing. A little bit lazy on the chase side there, Johnny, but doing well at the breakdown to rescue it.
Yeah, I didn't see who rescued it on the ground, but it was an opportunity well seen by Darragh O'Callaghan. You don't want your winger chasing in there. You want to keep your winger on the outside and maybe get the second man in chasing Darragh O'Callaghan, because that gives him an opportunity to bounce down the short side. Great recognition of space from him.
Yeah, great work by Maurice Minogue, the loose head there for Prez, just to get his hands in. But again, I keep going back to the breakdown. I think technically Christians, they're just getting too much separation, and support isn't getting there quickly enough. You go back to the Joe Schmidt time when you're talking about long bodies, ball placement. That's what it comes down to. You've got to make it as difficult a target for the opposition to get hands on the ball when you're in contact like that.
Murphy's right boot finds touch just short of the 10-metre line. As Don Lennon has said, Bowen has 4 takes. Prez have been disrupted in the last 3 lineouts. O'Keefe in the middle. They look to go towards the front, and it's taken by Foley off the top to Murphy and O'Leary. And O'Leary is double teamed by CBC and stopped at source, which is something that hasn't been said in this season's competition. As Murphy finds O'Leary Kareem, and O'Leary Kareem gets on the outside, fend with the right and the left, and wonderful leg drive from O'Leary Kareem finds Prez just short of this right hand touchline. CBC look to be a little bit over eager on the right hand side, but referee Brace says play on. O'Leary forced to come on the inside shoulder, but referee Brace has come back. They did look a little bit over eager there, seeing that dummy runner, Johnny Holland, that you highlighted in the semi-final, but they were caught just a little bit too hot off the line.
Yeah, they were offside, but I think from the coach's perspective, if you're going to put your trust in them to really get into Prez's faces, I don't think you're going to really give out to them too much being offside once, but you can't give them too many entries either.
Yeah, that's the downside of it. I mean, you have to put Prez under pressure. They're sort of just trying to hold the back foot of the ruck, but they were caught, and it could be costly. That's a super kick to touch.
Sure, the Cork senior team will be listening to Johnny Holland giving away 1 penalty when the Energy All-Ireland League resumes, but
they're not allowed to give away any, actually.
Murphy with, dare I say it, a rare visit to the CBC half. The 2 tries, O'Leary scoring off first phase from a line out, and the block down from O'Leary Kareem seems an age ago. It's Pádraig Doyle. It's disrupted there by Christians and Foy, master of the dark arts. CBC move the ball forward. Referee Bray says there's a knock on here to PBC.
Knock on advantage.
It's in the hands of George O'Keefe, starter, the only change from the semi-final. Bray still has the hand out. Tui zips it back to Murphy. Murphy to O'Leary, and James O'Leary finds space, and Rock doesn't get him, and O'Leary is going again, and O'Leary's given the ball. Was there a slight eye tackle there on Decky Fitzgerald? The full back to 15 is just held up 5 metres short. Prez going to the right hand side. Neville O'Leary, a try scored in the semi-final. Agonisingly close there again. Bray says short. Prez reload. Maurice Minogue, who got the turnover a few moments ago, is brought close to the line. Minogue agonisingly close again, but short. Prez reload.
The line.
James O'Leary has got the ball down, and PBC with their 3rd visit to the 22 in this first half score. And Johnny Holland, you have to hand it to them, their ability to retain the ball and put CBC under pressure has yielded major reward.
Yeah, unfortunately there was kind of a sweet pass in the middle of the field there. The 2 Christians lads, they hit the front line, and it was actually James O'Leary that snuck around the back of it, and then Prez nearly got held up twice, with the finish itself and the carry before that. They nearly got held up, but it's going to be very hard to stop James O'Leary from that distance. But it's a massive swing now, isn't it? Instead of Christians going ahead from the Prenter opportunity in the opposite corner, now they're chasing the game again.
Yeah, but you go back to the base there. I mean, Christians defending a Prez line out in their 22. They win the ball in the air, and Chris Barrett, he actually takes it beyond the 22, which means if they did even get it back and he kicks the touch, the line-out would be there. I mean, when you win it there, just set, get rid of the ball. They've paid a huge price for that there.
O'Leary Kareem lines up the conversion, right-footed, but drills it to the left and wide. His first miss of the afternoon brings the score to 19 points to 14 in favour of PBC. I think it was Liam Toohey there. Good to see him back to his feet for PBC. And as we were delicately poised in this Pinergy Munster School Senior Cup final, 19 points to 14. As O'Shea restarts right-footed to the try scorer O'Leary again. A brace in this year's final on O'Leary. So abrasive in contact. PBC trying to get into the groove. Here's O'Leary. Kareem has the ball. Wonderful offload there. And Wigington Barrett's on the move here. Try scored in the semi-final. Wigington Barrett's going to go the whole way, is he? Wigington Barrett with ball in hand, and just like that, PBC 2 tries in under 2 minutes. Johnny Holland, the ability for O'Leary Kareem to see the space there, something from nothing, and the pace from Wigington Barrett out of this world.
Yeah, we haven't actually got to speak about Wigington Barrett much at the moment, but there he is. He just announced himself again in the final. The only thing I would say is, if you're Christians, do you kick the ball off to James O'Leary, who's just got 2 very good tries, and his first carry got him around to the middle of the pitch, but it's Jean O'Leary Kareem, his ability to play other people into the game, as well as having a handle on it himself, but playing other people into the game seems to be his forte.
Yeah, it certainly is, but you go back to that try scorer, Wigington Barrett. People even of an older generation of me will remember his grandfather. Yes, it is Dave Wigington, the outstanding centre forward that played for Cork Hibernians in the late 70s, early 80s under the captaincy of the great Dave Bucuzzi.
O'Leary Kareem, wonderful knowledge from Donal Lenihan, and Wigington Barrett, electric in that semi-final, as Johnny Holland has said, has extended PBC's lead in a matter of seconds to 26 points to 14.
Yeah, that's huge just before the half time, 35 minutes aside. Remember, it's schools rugby, so that's a massive blow from Prez, but they've been brilliant from broken play. I mean, all their tries have one opportunity. Once they get in behind, they're superb. They have incredible pace out wide.
O'Shea again finds O'Leary, but CBC get to grips with him on this occasion.
And use it.
Liam Toohey,
Stay on.
right-footed, sends it high, an awkward one to deal with for O'Callaghan, but O'Callaghan leaves the ball bounce, and he's absolutely hammered by Neville O'Leary. It's been brilliant in the final. Alderson makes the follow-up tackle. Christians resource the ruck. Very, very awkward kick to deal with. It's the blindside Mark Skelly carries.
Same for those two. High.
Referee Brace says Prez were high in the tackle.
Same for them. High.
And a sucker punch, Donal, for Christians, but
yeah, it is, but brilliant opportunism from young Wigington Barrett. But again, to be fair to Prez, like those the 3 O'Learys, Wigington Barrett, incredible pace, but it's not just with the ball. You saw Neville O'Leary there, that long kick. He put incredible pressure on O'Callaghan, which forced the mistake. Now, okay, they gave away a penalty in the end, but that's exactly the work rate you want from your wingers.
PBC. PBC. CBC.
As we head towards first half stoppage time at the discretion of referee Andy Brace, Dara Prenter with the ball in hand. Christians with not a lot of line-out set piece in this first half. Time is off for Neville O'Leary to receive some medical attention, but Johnny, overall Christians will have been relatively happy with 30 or so minutes of this half.
Prez haven't gone through phases, have they? They've just been so potent in attack, and I think, I've said it before, but Harry Murphy is in there taking the ball to the line, and no one's giving him the credit that he probably deserves because of the names around him. Unfortunately, Christian's line has gone astray there.
Prenter's throw just goes askew to the left hand.
Yeah, I think you can put that down to the wind, but
can't finish on a no straight now.
clock in the red now. Very hard for Christians to get out of this given Prez scrum. I think if you're a scrum half, Johnny, you'd be quite happy. Boot the ball off the pitch, go in, take the break, and build from there.
I think if you had James O'Leary and Jean O'Leary Kareem in the middle of the pitch, you might have one crack at it, but if you're managing the game, Donal, you're dead right. You kick the ball off the pitch and you get in with that momentum.
Toohey
Square
with the feed for PBC. 26 points to 14 up as Christians look to put pressure.
Yeah, that's fine.
Toohey finds Murphy. Murphy finds O'Leary. O'Leary to Murphy again. Murphy finds Neville O'Leary, gets on the outside but just loses his footing. And Neville O'Leary carries, does very, very well to beat one would-be defender as Ian Morton gets to grips with him. James O'Leary again on the move, has had an incredible amount of touches on the ball. 2 tries to his name in the first 35 minutes. Toohey finds Murphy. Murphy looks to go, but he's absolutely hammered there by Gavin O'Riordan, the inside centre for Christians. And Toohey says that's enough for the first half. So here in Virgin Media Park in this Pinergy Munster School Senior Cup Final 2024, PBC lead 26 points to 14. Johnny Holland, your thoughts?
It's just been, like I said, potent from Prez. They don't need a second invitation. Obviously, even the confidence there to have a crack with an old Mike Ruddock move, I think, that came from Wales to Lansdowne, and we've seen all over the All-Ireland League. But yeah, their confidence is high, and obviously they're well able to score. I think Christians have put them through phase. They've gone through phases themselves, and when they put them under pressure, Prez can't go through them. So I think they've something to hold on to here. I think Christians will still have a say in this game yet, but 26-14, it's going to be hard to come back.
Donal?
Yeah, I'd agree with that. But, as we said, 33 minutes in, Christians would be absolutely thrilled. But Pres are lethal from broken play. I mean, I can't remember a school side with so much pace in their backline. They have 3 or 4 options, and I'm really taken by James O'Leary in midfield. He is incredible strength, always seems to break the gain line. I think he's played minor football for Cork as well, so he's obviously a really good footballer as well. But that balance that Pres have in the backline, I think, is just swinging it their way at the moment.
Indeed it is. The half-time score 26 points to 14 in favour of PBC. We'll be back with the second half after this.
Top teams in the world come together in the Six Nations.
The energy transition is happening. Now is the time to change. Time to move from polluting to preserving, consuming to creating. Time to act on your energy. To understand it, save it, even sell it. Because today's decisions will transform tomorrow. Pinergy, powering energy transition.
To all the fans out there, we know how much you care. To everyone who believes this could be their year,
So much. And then the quality of rugby that's been played.
we're always here. Wherever your team or heroes roam, there's one place we can all call home. The Irish Examiner, where sport lives.
With ball in hand to Cronin. It's a good carry, but Christians have managed to get the ball in the ground. They'll be delighted to disrupt that Pres attack early. And looks to go, and Gene O'Leary Kareem could have the first try in the final. And O'Leary Kareem, the captain. A dream start to the final for him and PBC as that sails through.
The leader in schools rugby there. There's the pressure there again.
Barrett goes out the back, and O'Shea is absolutely hammer posts. Christians being very disciplined on the pre-latch. Both Prenter and O'Callaghan, very sizable men in that 22. Pres staying on the line here, but Christians look to have gotten over the line. And it's a try by Christians. The open
Ellie Morton, as I mentioned, I was really impressed when he came off the bench the last day. What a start for him.
plenty of quick words. Christian. So go towards the tail again, and if it's not broken, don't fix it. Pres look to move the ball out. O'Leary, James O'Leary breaks the first tackle. O'Leary, incredible pace. O'Leary's going to score again. An unbelievable carry by James O'Leary.
Advantage there, but offset piece. Christians, that's something maybe they should have been considering before the outset. They just got to move the ball quicker.
Rock breaks from the base. Rock goes about 3 metres short. Barrett looking for his forwards around the corner. It's a lovely little move, and Christians are going to score on the outside. And it's a wonderful try by Bill McCarthy. For the third time, he just does that. He's facing a 2-1 on the outside. It's going to be close here. It's going to be a try for Christians. The referee, Brace, says no. It was a knock-on. He's well played a few moments ago. It's brought close to the line. Minogue agonisingly close again, but short. Brace reload. James O'Leary has got the ball down, and PBC with their third visit. PBC trying to get into the groove here. So O'Leary Kareem has the ball. Wonderful offload there. And Wigington Barrett's on the move here, tries to go to the semi-final. Wigington Barrett's going to go the whole way, is he? Wigington Barrett with ball in hand, and just like that, BBC 2 tries in under 2 minutes.
Under the captaincy of the great Dave McCuzzy.
O'Leary Kareem, wonderful knowledge from Donal Lenihan. Very welcome back to Virgin Media Park for this Pinergy Munster Schools Senior Cup final. The half-time score, 26 points to 14 in favour of PBC. Donal Lenihan, what are Christians going to have to do differently, if anything, to really keep a stranglehold in this game and get back into it?
Yeah, I think, look, if they're talking to the players, what they did for 33 minutes was outstanding. So they've just got to forget about those last 2 tries. Not quite sure how playing down to the Dolphin end, the wind, I think, is more behind Christians. So maybe, given their power, they look to play more of a territorial game. But, I think the next score obviously becomes crucial. If Prez were to get another try, then it's a real uphill battle for CBC.
It was 35 minutes that had everything, as O'Shea yet again finds James O'Leary, who was wreaking havoc. 2 tries in the first half for O'Leary. A winner last year with Prez as Murphy looks to go, and Fitzgerald, and it bounces out behind O'Leary Kareem in CBC.
Onside.
Try again to go after that ruck. PBC through Cronin. Carry again. Tui and Murphy managed the exit strategy for PBC very, very well in the first half. CBC putting a lot of pressure. Tui goes high in the sky, but that's not going to find touch.
Backwards play.
And it's regathered by CBC. Barrett at the base finds Foy. Foy again showed up big time in the first half, and it's a big, big carry by the tight end second row. Barrett looks up to his right, doesn't go with Rock, finds O'Leary. O'Leary is snagged. Just his wrist was tapped in that ball.
He just hesitated too long, didn't he? He had to get that pass away.
Looked, and whether or not we'll see it again there, Johnny Allen, that Danny Rock had 3 guys outside him there, that if they did manage to go to the blind, they would have stressed that Prez defence.
There was a bit of space on the blind side, I think, but there was also, if Gavin Reardon could have let that ball go, and I know he was trying to. We've seen against Munchins that Prez do get narrow, and they do get lateral lifts because they're narrow, so I think if they can let the ball go like that, I think Michael Foy is doing all the damage up the middle, and Prez are crowding the ruck, so if they can get their hands on the ball, there will be opportunities here for them.
CBC receiving a little bit of attention there. Just the contact lens, hopefully.
Yeah, Foy has been really impressive, hasn't he? Out for I think the vast majority of the season. He was one of the rocks of their pack last year. I think he's a player we're going to hear a lot about in the years to come.
You can see there that the wind actually is swirling by referee Andy Brace's jersey there, but
I thought you were pointing to the fact that he'd PBC on his jersey. I mean, what chance do the Christians fellas have?
All is fair in love and war, I suppose.
I actually think Andy Brace is facilitating this game really well. I heard him a while ago at a line-out saying you can't have 2 receivers, and we saw that was it a free kick was given twice in the
semi-final,
semi-final, and I think that's what you need at this level. I know it's a technical one, but you want them to be able to put their best foot forward, and I think he's done that really well.
Yeah, but I think the difference, Johnny, this guy is at the very top level. He doesn't have to prove himself. The young referee on the way up feels he has to adhere to every law on the book, otherwise he's going to get a telling off from the officials. But it is great to have a referee of Andrew Brace's standing doing this game. The players deserve it more than anyone.
Tui feeds as Christians try to go really hard again at that PBC breakdown. Alderson snaps back to the left-hand side, and Murphy moves it quickly to O'Leary Kareem. O'Leary Kareem is on the move. Brilliant in the first half, and O'Leary Kareem gets some valuable yards and is 3 metres from the right-hand touchline. As O'Keefe, second row, carries well. Has played at Luced this season as well for Prez. James O'Leary with ball in hand. Does like stepping off the inside shoulder there. There's a number of Prez players swarm in, and Christians are done for a high tackle there. Again, something Andy Brace has been very consistent with.
And it was a high tackle as well, but when you look at James O'Leary able to step back and have a look and go on, I'll have a go off this fella, and then I'll step around him as well. It's just, he's cruising, like he has so much time on the ball because of his physicality, but he's got the footwork as well to back that up.
Yeah, he always beats the first man, doesn't he? And he's strong enough then to retain possession. I think O'Leary Kareem, and you can see why, he has a little bit more razzle-dazzle about him, but James O'Leary is one powerful man.
I think on the Christians' defence as well, I think it's Alex O'Connell got caught once or twice on this side as well in the first half. When Gene O'Leary Kareem is running like that and he's pumping the ball, it's your inside shoulder you're defending now with the modern defences. It's the inside shoulder, so you just can't give that away. You can't leave him get a half a yard because he's able to play people around around him into the game. So just look after the inside shoulder, stick on him, and if they get around the edge, they get around the edge. But I think that's something Christians will be looking to cut out, that they look after inside and make them play around them. I know they can as well, Wigginton Barrett and O'Leary on the wing, but just something to be careful on.
Yeah, I think Christians are going to go to their bench early. Looks as if Galvin will be coming in.
Doyle's throw is picked off by Foy and Printer. Finds Morton to O'Shea, right-footed. The ball is going to find grass. That's a wonderful kick by O'Shea. Favourable bounce for full-back Fitzgerald with Prez, and Prez steps, and Fitzgerald has found a yard of space there. He's got O'Leary Kareem on his inside. He's still got him on the inside. It's Declan Fitzgerald. Finds his scrum half, like all good lines from Toohey. Stays alive on the inside. James O'Leary to Pádraig Doyle. And Cronin is cut off there again. Prez with a lot of space on the left-hand side, but that CBC defence has managed to reshuffle to cut down the space. James O'Leary is first receiver. O'Leary Kareem finds the offload to Murphy. Murphy goes on the outside to Wigginton Barrett. We know what he can do with ball in hand. Wigginton Barrett looks to go. He's tackled. A wonderful tackle there by Bill McCarthy on the cover, but Wigginton Barrett again, Donald and electric with ball in hand.
He's deadly, isn't he? And I think there was a moment there, if Prez could have got the ball away, they had a 2 or 3 man overlap. Wigginton, you're not going to stop him.
But just on that, I said it about Alex O'Connell, and he actually just did that. He looked after his inside. He came in from the outside, and then there was another couple, I think just after that, they looked after inside as well, and they shut it down. But then, as I said, they do have that bit of pace on the edge that Wigginton Barrett can put you under pressure.
Yeah, but look, you can't beat pace. You know, you saw Fire Woboso in Twickenham on Saturday. He created havoc every time he came in.
Conor Galvin comes in for CBC, as does Danny Noonan. Oscar Squires, a wonderful performance by Squires with PBC.
Absolutely, and isn't it brilliant to see a young lad like that? He was born with that little hand, but he always had an ambition to play for Prez. His 2 older brothers played for them in finals. He wanted to do that, and I think that young lad, what an inspiration he is.
Conor Galvin has come in for Michael Foy, but it looks like Foy is going perhaps to have some treatment to his eye. We're not quite sure on that one as play resumes and Christians secure the line out.
Don't change. One stop.
After Wigginton Barrett was tackled into touch, Barrett finds O'Shea. O'Shea to O'Leary. It's a good carry there.
No.
CBC still inside as Barrett tries to juggle the ball at the base, and O'Shea looks up right-footed. Gives that a fair belt down the field, but it's well fielded by Wigginton Barrett again, and Wigginton Barrett shapes the kick. Finds a little bit of yards there. He's absolutely hammered by Rock, and it is a secondary tackle there that looked to be high. We've heard Andy Brace say hinge at the hips and try and get low. I don't think it was Rock there. I think it was...
He's in trouble.
Regardless of what I think anyways, Rock has come off 7 minutes at this level in the sin bin. The captain, Brace, I make that 3 penalties that CBC have given away. There's a secondary tackler there that may have altered the height.
Yeah, it looks harsh to me, I have to say.
I think it's just the accumulation of high tackles, really, isn't it? It's just watching Wigginton Barrett there with his Bars style dummy kick. I spoke to my brother earlier about he'd know a bit more about him from his Bars days, and I'm told he's a confident lad. He can kick scores too, so you have to watch that kick, but it's dummy in that instance.
Yeah, it looks as if Michael Foy is coming back, which is just as well, because he'd be a massive loss in the heart of that Christians pack, but he has to wait till the next break and play.
Contact lens down the tunnel as Prez line out goes out over the top, and Printer, who's collected valuable yards all afternoon from that position, goes, and Barrett hits Walsh. Might have come off the head there, but referee Brace did say off the head, so it will be a line out to Christians as Michael Foy returns in the fray. Very important, as you said, Donald, to have Foy back on the pitch, particularly with the loss of Danny Rock to the sin bin.
Yeah, it is, and but you just kind of sense an element of panic in Christians now. 12 points behind, they feel as if the clock is against them, and that's the challenge for them. But they haven't been able to get into that. Prez 22 since the game started, really. Prez in control.
Conor Galvin, that temporary change who came on for Foy, has left the field again. We will no doubt see him again before the end of this game as Printer. Foy rejuggling the line out. Has Mark Skelly in front of him. They go towards the middle of the line out, and Conor Kennelly. Some huge options for CBC. They try to get them all going there as Printer breaks. Brings CBC just inside the PBC half. Prez doing their best to disrupt, but Foy again, like a man possessed all afternoon.
Okay, onside,
brings CBC just inside the half. O'Shea goes to half-back.
Take him back.
Sends the ball high up into the sky, but that's going to go straight out. And we will have a line out on the inside. And Johnny Holland, Prez will be happy with the opening exchanges, more happy, excuse me, with the opening exchanges in the second half.
Yeah, because I know they will want to, but they don't actually have to play here. You know, they can shut this game down if they want to. It's up to Christians to probably provide a little bit more than that. But interesting, I don't think anyone in Munster would like to hear it, but Prenter is almost like a hooker that could wear a Leinster jersey, isn't he? He's really dynamic off any turnover. We saw him in the semi-final racing away as well. He's a great player for Christians.
Johnny Holland saying Munster hookers don't have pace. We have it all here.
I know them all. They're not going to be happy.
Yeah. Referee Brace there says, we saw that, and Donald Lennon rightly pointed it out. Brace had given the warning, 2 receivers not allowed, so Christians will have the opportunity to either take a scrum or tap and go here from the free kick.
Yeah, but you go back to that last kick out in the full. We know what an outstanding player O'Shea is, but when your forwards are working that hard, there, you know, we saw Foy again, and just making huge yardage there. Himself and Conor Keneally in the second row really working hard, but when you don't get a reward, it's very difficult.
The pace of the game, as we would have thought, has dropped somewhat in this second half.
Okay, we're good.
By virtue of Danny Rock being sin-binned, it must be 7v7 in the scrum. Head coach of PBC, Ger Burke, has his hands on his head. The CBC are fully loaded to the open side of this scrum. O'Shea
set square, one square.
Has a number of options both inside and outside.
Square.
Barrett to O'Shea. O'Shea is met very hard again, but this time it's Harry Murphy. And that first phase, O'Shea tackled and turned over again. Johnny Holland, Christians will not be happy with that attack.
It was hard because they're overloaded. I think, you know, if that happened in the senior or professional game, Christians could go to their scrum and maybe buy a penalty there, because that's how good their scrum is. You know, Cian Walsh and Dennis Callan have been working really hard in the front row, but they're only allowed to go a metre.
Yeah.
You know, so they don't really want to play into an overloaded backline. That's what happens when you do.
Murphy finds touch just outside the CBC 22. 45 minutes on the clock. PBC 12 points ahead, and CBC down to 14 men for the next 2.5 minutes.
It just got into a bit of a stalemate in it, and as Johnny said earlier, Prez really don't have to do a whole lot. This suits them fine. They're playing in the right areas of the field.
They go towards the tail again to Bowen, which we saw a lot in the first half. Murphy, lovely little pass to O'Leary, and O'Leary finds O'Leary Kareem. There's a 2-on-1 here with James O'Leary. He's got a lot of pace here, and Neville O'Leary is on the move here. Hands off. Neville O'Leary is going to be, he's not, he's going to score the try for PBC. Their 5th try, O'Leary Kareem to Neville O'Leary on the right hand side. And Johnny Holland, yet again, this PBC backline has torn CBC to shreds.
And you know what? I think the headline there is just how good Prez are, because that's an intricate play. And when the heat came on them in the middle of the pitch, they were able. They actually had a plus in the line-up today, and they threw a big pass to Liam Toohey, who got another big pass away in the middle of the field. Then a sweep, and they just have runners off the shoulder. It's hard as a defensive line to really shut that down. But even with the pressure that they were under, small little passes getting away under pressure, it's really impressive.
Yeah, it is the quality of the passes in the conditions as well, as we mentioned, the wind, and it's the confidence to do that. But you know, they have big quality players out wide. I mean, you just felt that once Neville O'Leary got that ball in his hand, he was going to score.
O'Leary Kareem in front of the CBC supporters, lines up about a metre or so in from that right hand touchline. Strikes it very, very well, does O'Leary Kareem, but it's just, and it's gone straight through. Looked like it tailed off to the left hand side of the post, but O'Leary Kareem converts to bring the score to 33 points to 14 after 47 minutes in this Pinergy Munster School Senior Cup final. Johnny Holland, we've seen a lot of comebacks. We saw Munchins in the semi-final last year, but Christians are really going to have to find their best rugby to get back into this game.
Unfortunately, I don't think they have it in them when Prez are doing this. Like you see, when his cousin is taking the kick, James O'Leary is pointing at fellas, telling him, you know, we're not letting up, and they already have a cup medal in their back pocket. They want another.
Foy adjudged to have been ill-disciplined in that breakdown, and referee Brace
3 penalties against you for high tackles. Okay?
is having a word.
One against him earlier, all right?
The time Donnellan in where Christians need cool heads above all else.
Yeah, it is. I think they're so desperate to make an impact in that breakdown area. They're, I'm not quite sure what the penalty count is, but Christians, it's far too high if you want a game to win a game of this quality.
Murphy just dinks that ball into touch. PBC in no rush here.
Yeah,
Doyle.
Rock is back on the field now, but Prez, you only get 7 minutes with the bin, but they used it to their advantage, and that try is a real blow to the solar plexus of Christians.
Again, it's a set piece, isn't it? So good from set piece.
Doyle goes towards Bowen. Foy again. Gets his mitts on the ball as Barrett finds Rock, who's reintroduced the captain, who spent 7 minutes in the bin. PBC going very hard at the breakdown there.
Leave it.
A wonderful turnover there at the breakdown. O'Keefe has done very well so far as O'Keefe. The CBC again looked to be offside there, but Brace gives the scrum, and Donnellan a little bit disjointed, and Prez won't mind this at all.
No, they won't, but just a word for a lot of those Prez forwards, the front five in particular. We know all the stars are behind the scrum. The stardust is there, but the work that Prez are doing on the breakdown, even when it looks as if times Christians have the ball won, the counter-rucking from those Prez forwards has been outstanding, and they've really worked hard to provide that platform for what is an outstanding Prez backline.
Bind. Sit. Square.
Chewy with the feed.
Okay, no more.
Neville O'Leary, the try scorer, standing as first receiver. Ball in hand. It's got Murphy in the outside. They go out the back again, and O'Leary Kareem has cut through the middle, and Prez are in the groove here as Wigington Barrett has got electric pace here. Unbelievable cover tackle there, or almost from CBC, and they just about get to grips with him here. 13 metres or so from the line, but referee Brace says Danny Rock was legal there.
First man.
And you just cannot take your eyes, Johnny Holland, off anybody in that backline. You fail, fair enough, for one or two players with the names, but Neville O'Leary, Harry Murphy, Liam Toohey, Gene O'Leary Kareem, with the ball in hand, are pretty much at times unstoppable.
And I feel for Alex O'Connell there, because again it's his inside shoulder, but he's done everything right. He's got up into the space, he's been really aggressive in his defensive line speed. It's just going to be very hard when you've got the quality like that against you, but it comes from the inside out. We spoke, Donald, you were saying about the Prez pack. Maurice Minogue got the turnover to put them into that position, but it's just really cohesive all the way across.
Well, everybody knows their job, don't they? I think those Prez forwards, their work rate throughout has been brilliant.
Foy claims at the line out as Christians head up the middle and snap back blind. Foy again to Barrett. Barrett finds O'Shea, and there's numbers on here for CBC on the right hand side, and O'Shea looks to go. Lovely little pass on the inside, and CBC very close. Prez do very well to scramble there, and CBC just inside the 5 metre line. Barrett again goes towards Foy. Foy is hit hard, but looks like PBC were offside, so Christians will have an advantage here. Barrett has got O'Shea outside him. He's got Walsh. Goes out the back, a lovely little pass there. Tackle on the inside. O'Callaghan does put the ball down, but Brace says we'll come back for a penalty. Wonderful cover tackle from Prez there, but O'Shea, Donald, key to CBC attacking. They're going to go quickly here. There's a little bit of a break.
They had the overlap there, just couldn't execute it. It was brilliant scramble defence by Prez, but you felt Christians really had to nail that 5-pointer there.
I think we said it earlier that if you're going to get at Prez, you're going to have to go down the short side of their defence, and that was a set piece play. You could see they parked up on the short side, they'll sweep out the back, but really, really good from Christians. You can't say they're not throwing their punches, because they really are.
Joseph Barrett warming up down in front of us to come into the fray. Christians with nothing to lose here. Tommy Crowe giving final instructions. The ball at the feet of Cian Walsh. Walsh goes very hard towards that Prez line. The Prez have got underneath him. Barrett finds Foy again. That Christians power. There is no stopping at old school rugby. And the try by Foy, who's been brilliant all afternoon, brings the score, to 33 points to 19 with the conversion to come.
Yeah, no surprise that he was the guy who carried over the line. He's really powerful in the carry. He's been a massive figure for Christians up front, unfortunately. it still looks as if Christians have a bit of work to do, but there's a spark. Gives them something to hang on to. They just got to keep playing.
O'Shea, right-footed, has been perfect off the tee all afternoon. 33 points to 21 with 16 minutes or so on the clock here. Dare I say it's game on?
Yeah, I wrote them off slightly early. I still think it's a mountain to climb with what Prez can, conjure up in seconds, but Christians did the exact same thing there. They had a really good line break. They were really clued in. They obviously had their homework done, that was something they'd go to. So there's definitely a bit to go yet.
Burke and Bohan motioning for their players to up the levels because they know what's coming from Christians. Descended a small bit into chaos there, and Christians make a meal of the restart.
Yeah, that's criminal though. I mean, the restart's such a key element to the game. It is that third set piece. You've just scored. You've got to nail that. Just confusion, to be fair. I think Joseph Barrett had just come on the field, but always it's the guy coming forward has to come onto the ball there.
Sorry guys, stand up. Are you in? Yeah, my bad.
I think they did that really well in the first half, actually, when they seemed like they were under a bit more control. I was looking for their set piece or their restart receipt because of the very first one in the game, and they seemed to be very solid there, so that's unfortunate.
Toohey, Frankie O'Sheehan is warming up in front of us, the replacement 9, but for the time being Toohey feeds. Murphy has got Wigington Barrett in a snap position on his left as he drifts over to the right now. Murphy to O'Leary Kareem back to Murphy to Decky Fitzgerald beats two would-be tacklers. Fitzgerald on the move, throws to Neville O'Leary does really well to hold it, tries an audacious offload, and for once Johnny Holland, the Prez attack comes to a stop in the CBC 22.
Just about, but again, if you look at how they're setting themselves up, they move a pass and then all the congestion comes. So like once they get one pass, the defence is on the move, so they're going to find it hard to look after their shoulders a small bit, so they're creating some separation by moving the pass and then get everyone moving at the line together.
Yeah, but once again, Johnny, it's off a set piece. I mean, your defence should be better structured and organised from that. You shouldn't be able to make those line breaks that easily.
Prenter, Foy, Moses to the front of the line out, commanding in the air. The Irish under-19 international Foy does very well to take that as the maul shifts in towards the touchline. Christians will try and work.
Say more.
And are working very well here. Prez doing their best to scupper it. O'Shea right-footed. Won't find touch there, and O'Leary as his full-back Fitzgerald, and O'Leary decides to go and steps inside and steps outside. The try scorer.
Hold here, hold.
Murphy calling a move outside him, finds James O'Leary to O'Leary Kareem to Fitzgerald, catch pass to Bowen finds Wigington Barrett, who has been brilliant all afternoon, and that looks very, very high there.
That has to be yellow.
On the jersey for me, on the back of the jersey, yeah.
Referee Brace consults his touch judge, says it was on the back of the jersey, and we will have a line out, and Christians can consider themselves a little bit lucky there.
On the jersey.
Yeah, it is. But it's just panic every time Wigington, Barrett, O'Leary, it doesn't matter who it is. They have that ability to beat the first man almost out of sheer pace.
Foy goes back in. Prenter, ball in hand, finds Foy again to Barrett to O'Shea, who juggles. So O'Leary. Prez, bit of a lazy runner there, and Brace will have a penalty.
Yeah, they're the type of penalties you can afford to give away when you have that lead. Nice place at the field to do it as well.
I think Christians were probably a bit aggrieved they didn't get a penalty in the maul.
Yeah.
Although I think it was pulled down and they had to kind of reset themselves, so they were definitely due a penalty at some stage.
12 plus minutes to go in this Pinergy Munster School Senior Cup final in association with the Irish Examiner. If Dunlenan and CBC manage to get the next score, and it is a try, it's a one-score game.
Yeah, it is, but you know, there's a confidence and about this Prez team. We know they have a lot of players who've been in some of them their second, some of them their third final. So you know, that degree of panic just doesn't seem to be there. But Christians have a lot of work to do if they have to close that gap.
Bowen following Foy around the line out. Prenter's throw goes awry. Murphy gets to grips with the ball, finds Alderson to O'Leary to O'Leary Kareem again. O'Leary Kareem so strong in contact. Christians through Leo O'Leary,
And you
get to
take.
grips.
Now 9.
And Liam Toohey
Yeah, he's bound. Stay last.
gets his chase line to feet and sends it high into the sky. It's well taken by the replacement, Aidan Brady. Connor Galvin. Barrett to Foy. Foy tries to link up with O'Shea. O'Shea looks right-footed, tries to go over the head of Wigginton Barrett, and he will do just that. And it's a wonderful kick there by O'Shea. Will put that Prez set piece under pressure, but Donal CBC will be disappointed with that set piece to go awry, considering the time that's left in the game.
Yeah, they will, and you can see they're just forcing the passes a little bit there. O'Shea, no option at the end just to try and find that touch, but Prez, their line out apart from the wind-infected throws has been quite good all day. I think that's O'Leary just took a bang to the head. He doesn't want to go off, but look, any suspicion of concussion or bangs to the head, you got to take him off.
Aidan Brady comes in, number 24 for CBC.
I think that's unfortunate for Leo O'Leary. I thought he was quite good. I know he's up against it in the middle of the field, but he's been really strong for Christians, and he's trying to say that got him in the chest, but I think it's probably a good decision.
No, there was a little stumble when he got up, so, and got to take him off.
Bowen does well to take the ball. And Prez Mosey just outside the 22. CBC doing their best to disrupt.
One stop.
Referee Brace says one stop. As they look to move forward. Toohey struggling to get the ball there. And it's disrupted and turned over by Christians. And Prenter will play 9.
That's great work by Foy again. What a game he's had.
Fine Kennelly. The carry. Foy, as Donald said, has been brilliant. There he is again with the carry, and Foy gets inside the 22. Barrett has a little snipe there, did play in the wing and scored against Prez last season. And Christians in no mood to let up here, fighting. Try and reset attack-wise again through O'Shea. O'Shea zips a pass out. O'Connell steps on the right-hand side of O'Leary Kareem, but he gets to grips with him, and Alderson tries to have a go at the deck.
Stay back.
CBC have been pushed back momentarily. Second row. Kennelly does very well. The ball goes forward there. Minogue, little skip pass, and Wigginton Barrett will have a little run here, but CBC very wary of his threat and cut him down at source. And referee Brace says CBC will get the penalty. Johnny Holland, PBC will not be overly happy with how this game has unfolded in the last 4 or 5 minutes.
No, and I think they got their turnovers, and there's a lot of, well, I would say grass, synthetic as it is. There's a lot of space for them to kick into there, and they're just allowing Christians to maybe keep a handle on this game when they probably should be a small bit more out of sight.
Yeah, but Christians have an opportunity now, haven't they? If they get it into that 5-metre channel, they have a chance to get those big forwards rumbling. You get one try, as you said. We're back in the game. Just particularly young kids, the pressure comes on. You don't know how they're going to react.
And in the heat of battle in the cauldron, Michael Foy has been so
incredible.
Good for Christians.
Well, we've spoken obviously about all the pace, the power in that Prez backline, and I've no doubt you'll see some of those players stepping up to high ranks, hopefully in a Munster setup in the not too distant future. But certainly from a forwards perspective, Foy has been absolutely outstanding.
Fionn O'Sullivan enters the fray for PBC. George O'Keefe comes off to warm applause.
On the fight, please, mate. Yeah.
From the right-hand side, Cian Bohan saying in his Irish Examiner interview during the week that it was a seamless transition for both the CBC and PBC players to go into the professional setup, and the likes of O'Leary, Kareem and Foy, it's testament to his word.
I actually was just thinking that there with those two in particular, but they're so close to it. I don't think you see, it's hard to step up, but you're seeing some guys coming out of schools now. You see the representation across both squads. There are a couple of them that are very, very close to it.
Foy climbs highest again, and CBC try and wrangle around the front, and PBC have managed to stop them all, with CBC still in possession of the ball. Foy again, incredible with ball in hand as Walsh carries. Bowen gets to grips and rips the ball, and PBC through O'Leary Kareem has a little look up there. Prez try and move through Fitzgerald. There's calls for Cam here. Murphy is telling his charges Toohey has the ball. Prez will need to chase here. That ball has not gone where it's intended to, and Charlie O'Shea has the ball, and another wave of CBC attack
Last feet, push.
approaches the PBC 22. Replacement Joseph Barrett played in last year's final. He's well met by the PBC defence though. Barrett finds O'Shea again. O'Shea to Kennelly. Referee Brace again says not rolling away. That instance there where the poacher is legal, but the tackler just impacting the clear out.
Yeah, but they've another chance to go to the corner here now.
Okay, fellas, more discipline.
You know, you were talking about stepping up to the professional game. I remember James Ryan in an interview about 2 years after he came out of Michael's. He said really he didn't find the transition. He thought it was great because he didn't have to do his school lessons in between his training.
Same amount of training, I'd say.
Exactly. So he got more time to go to bed and have a sleep.
O'Shea finds touch about 6.5 metres shy of this PBC line. Frankie Og Sheehan comes in for Liam Toohey. At 9 for Prez. Prenter finds Foy, and they'll try and set this maul, and they have it. It's a solid base through Rock and Skelly, and CBC march towards the line in front of the PBC support at the Dolphin end of Virgin Media Park. The replacement, Brady, carries it to heavy traffic, and it's another replacement. Conor Galvin again. They look to get over. Big moments here in this Pinergy Munster School Senior Cup final as Foy carries again. Well into the double figures is Foy. Been to the fore of everything good that CBC have done. CBC go for the rough and tumble scored in the first half, but we've seen they're well able to mix it up. Good carry again by Foy. Very important placement back there, keeping that Prez defence honest and not allowing a poach.
Okay, push back on the line now, push.
You get the feeling Christians really need to score here to bring it to a grandstand finish in Virgin Media Park. Prez so far answering the questions.
Use the line.
Christians again looking to carry.
Okay, onside, onside.
Need to be very mindful here to get a clear grounding as Prez will try and hold them up, and that would mean a turnover. The post no longer in play. Referee Brace has his hands out, and O'Shea with a wonderful pass out on the right hand side, and it's going to be a try for Christians. It's a wonderful score there, great vision by Charlie O'Shea, and Donald Lennon, dare I say it, it's definitely game on here.
Yeah, it is, but unfortunately the try is, from a Christian's perspective, it's very far out. It's going to be a difficult conversion. But you thought that power was going to tell at one stage in the end. Great try in the corner, good option. Christians had that penalty advantage, but this is a difficult conversion.
Ronan O'Keefe, the starting full-back in the semi-final against Camp, who was on the bench today coming on and making a real impact. And dare I say, Johnny Holland, the semi-final qualifier last season, Prez were 12 or 14 points up with about 8 or 9 minutes left, and Christian managed to catch them. So it's never over when these two teams meet.
And it's great they've come back. One score game now going into the last couple of minutes. It's a great spectacle.
O'Shea right-footed out in that right-hand touchline. Connects very well, but it does just slip away wide, which leaves the score 33 points to 26.
Well, there's a draw still hanging in the balance there, isn't there? I remember you talk about how close these games. I won't tell you how many years, I won't even tell you how many decades ago it was, but I played in a final, went to the 9th minute of injury time, when our scrum half Alex O'Regan dropped a goal and we won by a point. But
wonderful take by Christians on the restart. Delicately poised. We've had an enthralling game here in this Pinergy Munster School Senior Cup final in Virgin Media Park. Barrett snaps on the blind side again. Skelly is met.
Okay, tackle all the way now, no.
By the PBC defence. Foy again goes out the back to O'Shea, and O'Shea finds Walsh, holds on to the ball. PBC going very hard after that breakdown as Barrett finds O'Shea again. O'Shea has Galvin outside. Galvin does well. Lovely little offload there. Christians are on the move here again through Ronan O'Keefe to try score just a few moments ago on the right hand corner. Barrett with the ball at the base. Foy again, a lovely little sweep out the back. O'Shea, it's a good carry again. And Christians fighting to the very end here. Conor Kennelly, a good carry again. And O'Shea is seen. There's a lot of space here on the left-hand side as Ronan O'Keefe, the try scorer, steps inside the would-be tackle. Prez just about getting to grips here as Neville O'Leary tries to put his hands on the deck. Barrett breaks on the outside, the 9 who has played in the wing. And there is a flag up. Alex O'Connell was very, very close there. Right in front of the Prez crowd. We are going down to the wire here, Johnny Holland.
Yeah, and you know what? The attack from Christians, we've spoken enough about Prez. I know we've said it a few times that they're playing a different game to last year, but that was unbelievable. The way they've moved to play, sweeping and finding space. And we did say that the Prez defence can find it tough when they get a little bit lateral, but Christians are really making them work for it here.
Yeah, particularly given the pressure that they're under, they have to try and pull something out of the fire. The clock on your screen is saying 65 minutes. The clock in the stadium is saying 69 minutes. So we're not 100% sure, but it'll go to the final whistle.
We'll wait for Andy Brace to inform us.
Even the backline attack there, Aidan Brady had an offload out the back of his hand. He's after coming onto the pitch. Like, that's unbelievable confidence. And then, as you said, Ronan O'Keefe, he started in the semi-final. I actually thought that was a great selection. I thought Darragh O'Callaghan had a great impact, but you know, we're seeing the opposite impact here now as well with Ronan O'Keefe.
Yeah, and you mentioned Brady. He's had 2 brilliant carries in the last 3 or 4 minutes. Big impacts, which is what you want from your bench.
Doyle has Bowen at the front. They look to go again, and Foy reads very, very well and pinches it out of the sky, and Barrett finds the replacement. The Christian fans to our right on their feet. The CBC look to move forward again. A little dart through the ruck, gaining valuable yards as Foy. Countless carries from Michael Foy again. They'll be building a statue of him in CBC if they can manage to come back on this. The touch judge on this side.
CBC in possession.
I think he stopped the game because he pinged somebody and Christian's got a bang on the head.
Thanks, Brent.
That's a bit, unfortunate in the context, the way the game was going.
You 21? Yeah, you need to leave, mate. Okay. You need to leave, yeah.
Touch judge on this side, Brian Bennett, bringing to the attention of Andy Brace that there has been a head injury, and it does look like
it's the phase off here, I think, when it goes out. Yeah.
Yeah, we won't see it on the replay, but it does look like the right call there.
I think, you know what, at the end of the day, like, health is much more important. That's brave enough from a touch judge to come in and say that. Like, he's looking after the players here, and ultimately that's what we want.
Okay, Tom on.
The Christians have to put into the scrum, so they've one more platform to try, and we've seen both teams have been very good off set piece plays, and the game has come down to this.
Walsh did manage to get the angle to allow Rock get a sizable advantage, which led to Christian's first try from set piece in the first half, but that ball looks to have gone against the head there. A massive moment where it bounces off, and James O'Leary carries there.
It was in the second row for Christians, and somebody kicked it through the tunnel.
Arrive up. No hands.
Cronin with the carry here. A frantic finish in Virgin Media Park. Christians will go very hard against this breakdown here. There is still time on the clock as referee Andy Brace tells Frankie O'Sheehan to use it. Left-footed, that's going to be high and hanging, but it's not going to hit touch. And Bowen, because of not retreating, will go there. And Foy looking to go with ball in hand. A wonderful tackle there. O'Leary, Kareem and Foy. Seismic collision there stops the big block there by the captain with PBC, but the ball is still alive for Christians here. The open side looks to go.
Away now, 3.
Dennis Callahan has the ball. Christians.
Okay, no hands now.
Rolling the dice here.
PBC.
33 points to 26. A converted try would bring it to a drawn game.
Okay, push back.
Christians, for the time being, staying very disciplined with the pick and jam, making sure on the pre-latch as Christopher Barrett looks up at O'Shea in absolutely no rush as he gives the motion here. You get the feeling that they're going to go. Barrett goes out the back to O'Shea. O'Shea right-footed. Has found O'Keefe. O'Keefe is going to score and try and get as close to the post as possible. And this is the stuff that dreams are made of. Charlie O'Shea is going to have an opportunity to draw the Pinergy Munster School Senior Cup final.
I tell you, I wouldn't like, as a young fella, to have the pressure of this kick. It's phenomenal. Now, Christians were playing under penalty advantage.
I just wonder, and I know he's looking to score and he's kicked himself over to that corner. I wonder if they rumbled under the post, do you give yourself a better chance to get this kick? But look, it's
exactly what was going through my head when I thought, when they had the penalty advantage, just take it and
on his approach.
Because
on the approach.
Now he struck this one very well.
He did.
Time. He just didn't get there.
I think it's a tiny bit closer, is it? But it's huge pressure on a young man.
He's well able, but I hope it goes over for his sake.
33 points to 31. A final for the ages. Charlie O'Shea sizing it up, right-footed. Clean strike by O'Shea, but it's gone to the left and wide. And referee Andy Brace blows the whistle. PBC have won the 2024 Pinergy Munster School Senior Cup final by 33 points to 31. Donal Lennon, an incredible game, an absolutely incredible game. Your thoughts on the final whistle?
Fantastic game, superb rugby from both sides. To be fair, I think Pres were probably the stronger side over the course of the 70 minutes, but you've got to tip your hat to Christians, the manner with which they came back. As I said, I hate seeing a young fella being put into that position. He struck it really well. You wonder with hindsight, would they be better of taking the penalty advantage? But look, a brilliant advert for Munster Schools Rugby. We've been critical in years past about the approach to schools rugby down here, but the quality of this game is as good as anything you'd see in Leinster schools. There's some outstanding talent on show. It's a pity there always has to be a loser. Pres have been outstanding throughout the campaign, but Christians, I think, can be extremely proud of the effort that they put in over the course, not only of this game, but of the whole campaign.
Johnny, Charlie O'Shea, he's going to go on to have bigger and better things in his career. He's a fantastic player, but just a word on how good this Pres team has been. We've covered them over the last 2 years. We've seen the number of players, but you get the feeling that I spoke to a number of people during the week that said that this was the best schools backline that they had seen in a number of decades. Now, I don't know how true that is, but your thoughts on it?
I don't know enough to say that, but I can imagine it's very, very it's close to being true, because you see the cohesion that they have, the talent that they have, and actually just a word as well, just on maybe the quality of people that they are. Decky Fitzgerald went out to Charlie O'Shea there instead of going to his own players and just consoled them a bit after missing the kick. So I think that'll tell you, what we're blessed to see today was an unbelievable game of rugby, but also there's good people on that pitch as well today.
Yeah, well, you'll know a lot of those players would have played underage. They're minis rugby with their clubs, be it in Connor, Highfield, Dolphin, wherever, so they all know each other. They go off into their separate schools. There's a rivalry that is built up over the 6 years, but they're incredibly close, and there's been a great relationship between the two schools over the past number of years. It's a pity there always has to be a loser, and as I say, I really take my hat off to Christians, the way they fought back. They didn't give up. They were on the rack at one stage. You mentioned last year 24-0. There was a moment in the game where there could have been that type of separation. So fair dues to Christians for fighting their way back in. But Pres, you have to say, you asked about quality of the backline. I've been watching schools rugby down here for maybe a few years longer than Johnny, but it is one of the best backlines that I have ever seen.
Johnny, a word. We'll go through both sets of coaching staff, but to Ger Burke and Cian Bohan, Donal mentioned many moons ago about 9 minutes of stoppage time and a drop goal. To see players of this calibre, it is all down to the players, but the coaches have put them in a position to be able to do that and grow, and the trajectory has gone up and up and up.
Yeah, like they look like they're really well coached. The amount of tools that they have at their disposal. Now I know the coaches have a couple of tools as well there. They've got brilliant players that they're able to work with, but even interestingly, when Liam Toohey came off the pitch, a bit of an embrace with Cian Bohan on the work that he had done, and like they didn't let go of each other for a few seconds. They were you can see that the buy-in from the players to the coaches, there's a lot of it there, you know, and that's a great team to be able to coach. But likewise on the other side, I know Christians have put so much into this. Their coaching staff is brilliant. They've invested in terms of resources and bringing more people in, Duncan Williams and Dave Lee and others, you know, so it's bitterly disappointing for them as well. And to go so close, I don't know, is that even harder because they've gone so close to it? It's going to hurt maybe a small bit more, but you know, hats off to both of them.
Indeed. Donald, just in terms of individuals on the pitch today, I know we've name checked, but Michael Foy, an incredible performance there. Unlucky to be on the losing side, but certainly one to watch.
Well, he nearly single-handedly dragged Christians back into the game. He was off for a head injury assessment at one stage, I'd say, and but he was phenomenal, as was Keneally in the second row with him. Mark Skelly, who went off, and you know your substitutions are on rotation, but he came back on, had a big impact. And you know, I know from experience in terms of these players, regardless of what they go on to play, whatever level they go on, today is a day that lives with you for life. You know, I mentioned that drop goal, which was over 40 years ago. There's a lad who plays for Prez. We meet every Wednesday in the golf club, and he kind of bows his head because he knows what's coming. It defines your life in many ways. But you know, but what a game. And as we said earlier, you've got to take your hat off to both coaching groups, both sets of players, both schools.
And Johnny, I'll go to the impartial crease reboy on this. It was built up all week. The most successful sides in the competition's history on 31 trophies apiece. The Garrett Fitzgerald Cup goes to Prez today, and it's 32-31. So it may be golf clubs, it may be GA clubs over, but Prez certainly have the honours for this year and going forward.
Yeah, they do, but I think, you know, both sides have really played a part in making this the final that it was. I think that's going to go down as one for the ages. Like it was, as Donald said, really attacking rugby. Prez have had that since last year, but Christians have developed themselves over the year to really add to that final, you know. And like you can see how tight it was on the scoreboard, how tight it is in the honours roll, you know. So these two schools and teams aren't going to go anywhere anytime soon. You're going to see a lot more of them, and there's a lot of fifth years on that pitch as well. You know, the likes of Charlie O'Shea, he has another crack off this next year.
James O'Leary with Prez.
Yeah, and Christopher Barrett, the halfback pairing in Christians. Like there's loads of them. They're going to keep going at this. So disappointing for Christians, but I think you can't deny Prez their victory. They're such a good team.
Yeah, and just on our left there's a lot of Munster development people in tracksuits. I mean, if I'm in those jobs, I'm absolutely thrilled. Their job is to find talent, to bring people through, and there's a number that you can identify on both sides. So that's going to make their jobs that little bit easier in the years to come.
Barry Murphy spoke, Johnny, in the semi-final about how wonderful it was to see natural homegrown talent coming in. We were saying it was a little bit of gloating maybe that greatness recognises greatness with a number 13, but for Donald particularly to see somebody like Michael Foy coming through, it does really bode well for the provincial game and further.
Yeah, I think like if you look at Munster at the moment, Camille Novak's getting great opportunities there because of being a second row, and there's not, you know, an abundance of second rows. So if you're Michael Foy and you've just played like that in the Munster Schools final, and the Munster coaches are looking at you, they could do a lot worse things than to get him into their setup, whatever level. You know, you're not going to put too much pressure on the young fella, but you get him into the setup for the summer, see what he can do, see what he's like when he comes in and how he carries himself. You could do worse things than put your arm around him and try and develop him further.
Indeed. Donald, just a word. The supporters have been exemplary, but these are days, weeks that are going to be celebrated by families in schools. Christians no doubt will bounce back from this 24-0 last year. You know, in within a whisker of drawing the game this year, but great to see overall.
Yeah, it is, and look, it's a great day for the parents of the players involved. I mean, I met a number of them before the match, and you could almost sense that they were more nervous than their kids playing. But it is one of those days. And you know, just a word, I just see Anya Fitzgerald, wife of the late Garrett, with that cup. 31 for Christians, 32 now for Prez. Garrett, what an outstanding CEO he was for Munster for a long number of years, almost dragged them into the professional era, and he was on a CBC teams that won cups a long time ago. I think the old senior cup was looking battered and bruised, and he went into his own pocket. He was the one who went out, got that new cup, and it means as much to these players as it did to Garrett a long time ago.
Indeed, very well said, Donald. A little bit of you, Johnny. a bit jealous you're not that age down there on the pitch kicking around the ball?
Oh yeah, but even if you look at the supporters, like they're idolising the players here. They're celebrating their school's victory. They're on the other side. They're feeling it as much as what the players are. You know, there's a massive collective buy-in to a day like today, and the schools have, you know, it's a lot of credit going towards the schools and the supporters and the players. But yeah, you'd be massively jealous that players of that calibre, like Gene O'Leary, Kareem, and James O'Leary, and Michael Foy, and the rest of them, like we said, get to go and play in front of that kind of a crowd.
Yeah, I think also the you know, when Johnny was talking about the coaching staff from both, the bottom line is those coaching staff have given these young fellas the opportunity to be the best players that they can be, and that showcases them at their best. Some of them will go on and play at club level, but that's what it's all about at the end of the day.
Assistant referees Brian Bennett and Alex Ahern.
As the congratulations go out, Captain Gene O'Leary Kareem is getting ready to lift the trophy. It was mentioned during the week, head coach Ger Burke did an interview on the 42. There was a joke about he was in Harvey Norman's getting his mother something for Christmas and somebody from CBC couldn't serve him. We'll try and find out what that present was, but they spoke about, they didn't really want to speak about it, but it's the first time in 30 years that PBC have gone back to back. And for Gene O'Leary Kareem to be the captain to lift it is going to be something special.
Support of this fabulous Schools Cup this year. Well done, thank you very much, and I'd like to congratulate both teams on a wonderful game of rugby. It was the best I've seen in, I don't know, in years. Both teams contributed.
Just on that as well, Johnny, what has just been mentioned there, the quality of the game, 33-31, you know, people would have been in awe a number of years ago at Super Rugby games watching them on the TV, but it was an absolutely stellar game. One that's going to be difficult to be matched going forward, but testament to both sides again.
Yeah, again, like we said, really positive play, but that's including a Christians team that really put their best defence forward. Like, you know, so that's not just you score one, I score one. I think the quality of attacking rugby really challenged the defences. There was a good balance out there, and it's actually a testament to how they played the game.
Yeah, and just on that, and the margin, you know, last year was a kind of a blip in terms of a team winning by 24 points. I mean, I was fortunate to win one by 1 point, and the following year to win another one when we hammered them by 2 points, twice as much as the previous year. So they're even more sweet.
Indeed they are. The anthology of Don Lennon Senior Cup winning history has been a joy, along with the Wigingtons and the Wigington Barretts. But today is PBC's day as we go through. As Anya Fitzgerald, and as is customary, the
club will be presented on behalf of Pinergy to the mother of the winning captain, who will in turn present it to a winning captain.
Captain Gene O'Leary Kareem, your 2024 Pinergy Munster School Senior Cup champions. PBC College win today and bring the total titles to 32, one ahead of CBC. From all at the Irish Examiner Sport, from myself, Darragh Frawley, Don Lennon and Johnny Holland, have a great evening and a fantastic St. Patrick's weekend.
Hey, wish, no percent. First of all, I'd like around selling tickets. All these lads wouldn't be here otherwise if it weren't for you. I'd like to big thank of Mr. Burke, Ian, Bowes, Don, Kieran, everyone that's helped, Mike, Willie, Brian McMahon, Scotty, everyone's been there. I said Scotty, but it's been unreal, and I feel sorry for Berkey and stuff for having put up for us, some of us for 3 years, so a round of applause for us. I'd like to thank our own press parents as well for the duties they put in, because everyone who's standing here looking down, no one knows how much work we put in, how much parents' work put in, and it's just unreal, so a round of applause to them.
Nations.
The energy transition is happening. Now is the time to change. Time to move from polluting to preserving, consuming to creating. Time to act on your energy. To understand it, save it, even sell it. Because today's decisions will transform tomorrow. Pinergy, powering energy transition.
To all the fans out there, we know how much you care. To everyone who believes this could be their year,
So much. And then the quality of rugby that's been played.
we're always here. Wherever your team or heroes roam, there's one place we can all call home. The Irish Examiner, where sport lives.
With ball in hand to Cronin. It's a good carry, but Christians have managed to get the ball on the ground. They'd be delighted to disrupt that press attack early as Darragh O'Callaghan looks to go, and Gene O'Leary Kareem could have the first try in the final, and O'Leary Kareem, the captain. A dream start to the final for him and PBC as that sails through.
The leader at schools rugby there. There's the pressure there again.
Barrett goes out the back, and O'Shea is absolutely hammered posts. Christians being very disciplined on the pre-latch, both Prenter and O'Callaghan. Very sizable men in that 22. Prez staying on the line here, but Christians look to have gotten over the line, and it's a try by Christians. The open
side. Morton, as I mentioned, I was really impressed when he came off the bench the last day. What a start for him.
Johnny, a quick word. Christian. They go towards the tail again, and if it's not broken, don't fix it. Prez look to move the ball out. James O'Leary breaks the first tackle. O'Leary, incredible pace. O'Leary's going to score again. An unbelievable carry by James O'Leary.
Advantage there, but offset piece. Christians, you know, that's something maybe they should have been considering from the outset. They just got to move the ball quicker.
Rock breaks from the base. Rock goes about 3 metres short. Barrett looking for his forwards around the corner. It's a lovely little move, and Christians are going to score on the outside. And it's a wonderful try by Bill McCarthy. That's given O'Shea the opportunity to level up the game for the third time. He just does that. Bit of space and a 2-on-1 on the outside. It's going to be close here, and it's going to be a try for Christians. The referee, Brace, says no. There was a knock on. He's well played a few moments ago. He's brought close to the line. Minogue agonisingly close again, but short. Brace reload. James O'Leary has got the ball down, and PBC with their third visit. PBC trying to get into the groove. Here's O'Leary. Kareem has the ball. Wonderful offload there. And Wigington Barrett's on the move here, try score the semi-final. Wigington Barrett's going to go the whole way, is he? Wigington Barrett with ball in hand, and just like that, PBC 2 tries in under 2 minutes.
He's under the captaincy of the great Dave Bucuzzi.
O'Leary, Kareem, wonderful knowledge again to Bowen, which we saw a lot in the first half. Murphy, lovely little pass to O'Leary, and O'Leary finds O'Leary. Kareem, there's a 2-on-1 here with James O'Leary. He's got a lot of pace here, and Neville O'Leary is on the move here. Hands off. Neville O'Leary is going to be, he's not, he's going to score the try. Strikes it very, very well, does O'Leary, Kareem, but it's just, and it's gone straight through. Look like Walsh goes very hard towards that press line. The Prez have got underneath him. Barrett.
To all the fans out there, we know how much you care. To everyone who believes this could be their year,
So much. And then the quality of rugby that's been played.
we're always here. Wherever your team or heroes roam, there's one place we can all call home. The Irish Examiner.